Welcome to another episode of 50 Shades in Grey. Over the next 4 weeks, we are going to be talking and sharing the journey of 3 single women and their dating experiences. And we're going to be finding out if they're using apps or if they're meeting people organically, how those interactions are going, and we're going to share their experiences, and it's going to give everyone a chance to look at what it's like to actually be dating in midlife. Lots of you out there will resonate with lots of the frustrations. For some of you who maybe have been in relationships for a long time, it'd be a chance for you to actually see what it's like the other side of the fence if you were single and ever thought, I wonder what it'd be like to date now. So you'll get a chance to see that. I have with me 3 ladies who are going to introduce themselves, and they're going to tell you a little bit about themselves first of all. So who would like to start? Don't all jump forward.
I've gone in, Lisa.
Lisa.
Why not? I'm Lisa. I live down on the south coast near Portsmouth. I have got 3 girls. I've got teenage girls that are 15 and a 20-year-old. Been on my own for a couple of years now. I was married to the girl's dad, just got back on the dating scene. And then I was in a relationship for a couple of years and then been on my own for a couple of years. So yeah, it's kind of like putting the feelers back out.
Jo.
Hi, I'm Jo. I am 49 and I'm from near Hull. I've got 4 children, so they are 24 down to my twins that are 15. I think there's a commonality with everyone having a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
I was married and then had a second failed relationship with the twins. Yeah, I've not been very successful in the last sort of 10 years, really. So, yeah, I give up with dating. So I've had about 18 months off, and then I thought I'll start a profile, and then 50 Shades came up. So I thought, right, here's an impetus to just start again.
Again.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I am, really.
And
I'm a hopeless romantic, really. But
I think we all are.
So, well, I am 52, 53 Sundays. I've got a birthday coming up. 4 children, similar ages, 25, right down to 15, 3 girls and a boy in that order. I've been married twice and divorced twice, obviously. First time was my oldest. I was quite young. And then I had the 3 with my second husband. Been separated, divorced, separated 5 years, divorced 3 years, been on the apps about 4 years. But like I took a long break, came off for a year, and it was really good, actually. I think sometimes when you go on them, you're too, I don't know, you just make a few sort of stupid mistakes. I don't know if anybody else has felt that, but yeah, no, coming off has done me a world of good and sort of dipping myself back into them.
So how generally have all of you found dating in midlife? How would you sort of sum it up, really?
car crash.
Yeah, car crash is definitely a good word.
Agreed.
Why is that? Is that because of the men involved, or is that just actually opportunities to meet people?
I'd say opportunities to meet people, really. I think people just don't go out to a bar. I'm like you, hopeless romantic as well. You go to a bar, you want to catch someone's eye, they buy you a drink, and it evolves, but that just doesn't happen now. It really doesn't.
And it's really hard.
And I work with the women. I don't get the opportunity to cross over really with men. So dating sites is really the only way.
In terms of opportunities, why is that? Is that because there's no one else to go out with? Is that because the commitments of having children as well? What is actually stopping you?
I think it's when you go out, everyone's either in a couple or, guys in my kind of age bracket are either married or, well, married. Yeah, that's it. There doesn't seem to be guys that are single out and about.
I was going to say, when you go out as well, and you want to go to these places and you go out, if you go out with girlfriends, you don't really get the opportunity to meet a person like that, do you? Because you're quite sort of like within your girlfriends. It would take a lot for a man to approach that situation.
From my experience, I think if a guy likes you and you're in a group, he'll try to make it known. I think as long as he feels like it's been reciprocated. So if I was looking at one of you in a group of girls, if you sort of caught my eye as well, and there was a little exchange of smiles or glances, then it leads people into going to say hello. So I think if you're closed off, because sometimes what happens is when you go out with friends, just because there's not a lot of opportunity and you may not see them, you're catching up on everything else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not like your radar is up, where I do feel that when you went out, I don't know about you guys, but in your sort of teens and 20s, when you were single, it was like a permanent radar you sort of tended to have up all the time, because that was a main drive of going out, sort of girls, guys, whatever it may be.
Yeah, we didn't have the internet though, did we? We didn't have it when we grew up. We didn't have that. That wasn't the culture. So when you went out, you did just go. You did swap numbers, didn't you? Put them on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I think sometimes with the dating apps, it's got quite lazy. No one's got the skills now to go up and approach people, I think.
And I think
Well,
men, it's quite a big thing for a man to go up to a woman. It's quite brave, isn't it? Really, it takes some balls.
So have you
well,
ever,
I did it on Saturday night.
Yeah,
right, this I am going to share with you all. We set up a WhatsApp group to obviously exchange the details, and it's kept me entertained all weekend, because what I've realised is the difference with women on a WhatsApp group is they're quite willing to share everything, like really
Yeah.
quick. And it's
Yeah.
been, I've got to say, guys, it's been so nice. But I haven't had that many messages from my mates on WhatsApp groups as you guys that have just met each other. And what's lovely, you've all been so supportive of each other. And there's so much
Yeah.
empathy. Guys don't have empathy at all for each other.
I think we've all been through similar circumstances, haven't we? And I think we're here to sort of chat about it. I mean, do you want me to share what happened on Saturday?
Please do, Joe. Yes.
So this is my new impetus and Hopeless Romantic. I think everything's been a signal and a sign. So
Oh, I
went
like
out
all
on
that.
Saturday. Yeah, I love all of that. I've done it too many times. So went out on Saturday night with my friends. First guy I bumped into actually was from Bumble 2 years ago, and he came up to me in the bar and he said, "You're Joe." And I thought, oh my God. I was like, "Hi," whatever his name was. And he said, "Yeah, I remember you from Bumble." So I had a very difficult, awkward conversation about dating, which was hilarious from his point of view. So he'd dated 40 women since June. I mean, crack on. So I heard all his dating story. He trotted off, and then two guys came and joined our table randomly. So I was like, "Oh, it's a sign," and all of that. So we had a really lovely chat about dating, chats about life in general. You know, we even talked about like what you're planning for your retirement, because we're all in our 50s. They ended up staying with us for the night for 5 hours. We went dancing. We were having like, you know, he gave me his number. He was really flirty. He lived abroad. So I was like, you know, picturing myself on the balcony and all of that every 3 months. So the next day is when I put in the group, "Oh, you know, you shall I message him?" And everybody said, "No."
No,
And I was like,
I didn't. I did
"Yeah,
not.
you didn't.
I
You
didn't
didn't.
say no.
No."
You
So I was
did.
like, "Do you?" Yeah, but I did. There's no point wasting time. So I messaged him and he messaged back. And then I thought, right, he's messaged back. What do I put in the group? So I thought, no, Joe, just say, "Had a lovely night. Be great if we could have a coffee or a drink." And then the message came where it's like, "Oh, I'm really sorry if I gave you mixed signals." They weren't mixed, trust me. I've got a partner. And I just thought, do you know what? I give in. So I said, "Oh, thanks for being honest," and all of that. I actually wanted to say other things, but I didn't. I think it's just disappointing because there was lots of time for him to be really honest.
Do you not think though, Joe, he could have, and I think I said this to you on the group actually, it's very easy to get carried away in moments. It doesn't make it right, but maybe he just got carried away on that night in that moment. But I think what you do, that's why I said to you, I think you're far better off. You haven't wasted 2 or 3 weeks messaging backwards and
Yeah,
forwards.
yeah,
You found out,
Yeah.
gone absolutely fine, and then you just
Yeah.
move on. And I think
yeah.
I think you do need to be that way when you're, you know, I don't know what you feel, Lisa, that way when you're dating, that you do get quite, not brutal, but you do need to sort of,
You harden for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I can't multi-talk to people. So if I was waiting for something for that guy to happen, I would feel like I get this like guilt about going on a dating app and starting chatting to somebody else. Because it's like having people in like reserve or the next. I can't do that.
Yeah, I've
See-
got friends the same. Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
maybe I should be. Maybe I should just be
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
I used to only do that. I only just talk to like when I first started, because like you, I just felt, Joe, I was being, you know, letting someone down.
Yeah,
or-
yeah,
But I don't do that now. I do talk to quite a few people at the same time.
yeah.
And I would go on a few dates with them. And then if it progressed to like second, third dates, I wouldn't be seeing multiple people at once because that doesn't sit right with me. But I would have quite a few conversations with people.
I'd get all mixed up.
Yeah, that has
Well, remember
happened.
what you said.
It's like I'd have to
I
write
have
it
a
all
story
down
like
now.
that.
So in terms of the dating apps, guys, can you share the dating app that you're on? First of all, we'll start with that. Lisa, what one do you use? And just give us a brief description of it for people that may not know about the dating apps.
Okay, so I'm on Bumble and it's the same kind of principle. You swipe, they swipe, you match. And if you match, the girl has to message first. So it puts the onus on you to message. So there's none of that like, oh, shall I message? Shall I not? Shall I wait for him to message? Shall I make the first move? It takes all that away. So the girl messaging first, I think, is a good way for it to work. So yeah, I like it for that reason.
Jo?
I'm on Bumble as well, but one thing that they used to have was like speed dating nights on a Sunday and a Tuesday. So it was great. You could just go into like chat rooms and put some filters in, and then you could live chat with people, which was actually really good. I did date a guy for a year, 2 years ago. Sorry. 2 years ago, I dated him, but it was just for a month. And that was a really good feature because you could literally just message back and forth for a minute, and then you could decide to match at the end or not.
How about you, Faye?
I'm on Hinge. I prefer Hinge. It's my favourite app. I like it because it's a bit slower at times because Bumble you just swipe up and you get then like the onus is on you, isn't it, to match? It's a little bit more thoughtful. You don't get as much matches, but what you do see, I find like a better quality of person for me is on Hinge. Okay?
So
We're all getting on
I have
Hinge.
tried Tinder. Have you not tried Tinder?
Yeah, for about
Oh.
10 minutes.
And me, awful.
what? Because I always got the impression with Tinder, because what I didn't realise is someone told me the other day that Tinder actually came from Grindr. Is that right, originally?
Apparently, yeah. And I didn't realise, and I kept going, these men are just sending things they shouldn't.
So, yeah, I always presumed it was that kind of a bit like a hookup app.
It's portrayed as that, and it is quite like that as well, isn't it? Have you found that, Lisa?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
It scares me.
Lisa, it's the thing. I've had a friend who's got married from Tinder.
Yeah. Do you know what, Jo? I've got a friend who's in a really serious relationship from Tinder. So it's just, I think it is how it is.
Yeah.
I used to be on one called Inner Circle, which was really good. And then I came off it.
Like
it was kind of one, yeah, but it was really good because you'd had to like, I don't know, it was just a really good one. But it was quite new and there wasn't a lot of people on it. So I came off. It was kind of an invite only. I came off. And then when I went to come back on again in December, they wouldn't accept me. I was like, bloody cheap.
Rude.
So yeah. You have to kind of get recommended. It was good though. There was nice sort of quality of person on there as well. It's nice.
So when obviously you start these apps, you have to do your profile. So can you give us a bit of an insight about your profile, what sort of pictures you've used, which ones you've considered, and a little bit about your bio?
What you say and then just like copy. Yeah.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah.
So I've used a variety of pictures. I think based on feedback from men that I've been on dates with before, and they always say they're concerned when women just put head and shoulder pictures on because they want to see you as a whole person. So I tend to use a couple of head and shoulders and a couple of like full length ones that try to look fairly natural. You know, and I think most of mine I've actually got a drink in my hand, which is a worry. But yeah, like on holiday or doing something fun. And I've actually, the one that I have got on there is one of me and my friend. And on Bumble, you can put like prompts of, like little subtitles underneath photos. And it says, there's one and it's a prompt and it says, I hope you don't. And then I've put underneath, fancy my mate. Because we've matched with the same guy on several times. So I'm thinking, right, guys, if you see this photo, you can see her in it with me. If you're going to match with both of us, just be aware that we're friends.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So
that's happened as well. I've had matches, and what I do now is I screenshot them and send them to my single friends.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I was talking to him. Right, okay, back we go.
Yeah.
Like a referencing system. I think that's quite good.
Someone I heard had a spreadsheet of them all.
Bumble have got that recommended to a friend now. Have you seen that?
Yes,
what,
I
on
did see
Bumble?
that.
On Bumble, yeah, you can
Yeah.
recommend it. Yeah, that's quite. I think that's quite a good feature.
What's
Yeah,
that?
really good, really
Can you
good.
explain that, Fee? What is that?
So they're not really your cup of tea, but you think they'd be really suitable for one of your friends. And if they have to be on Bumble as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, then you just recommend them to your friends, and then they go into their box and then they can chat to them.
Giving your friend your cast-offs.
But I sometimes really think, oh my God, he would be perfect for my friend, blah, blah, blah. I don't fancy him, but he would be perfect.
I was going to say, I took home.
So, Fee, how about you? What sort of pictures did you and Joe put on of yourselves?
I tend not to just do headshots. I tend to do full body shots so people can see that it's actually you. I tend to change them quite a lot so recent. And I've got holiday ones. I have got one with a dog. I don't know if that's like a good thing or a bad thing. I've only tried to just have one with sunglasses because I don't like it when I see many sunglasses because you can't see their face, especially if it's their profile picture.
Oh, mine's like the disaster. So I've just got like headshots, no bunny ears, no filters, just headshots. And I'm 5'9", so I'm really tall, and I'm a 14-16, so I don't feel particularly body confident. So I just tend to put headshots in and then just say I'm Kervix. I can take pictures of houses, but not myself. I'm always like, what's that? Or I've taken a picture and I actually don't look like myself in it. I'm like, and then like when it says, tell us about yourself, nothing. I don't know if that's me being passive aggressive, just nothing. So I think what I need to do is just be a little bit softer in my profile.
Sorry, Joe, did you say so you've written nothing about yourself?
Well, I've put that I like dogs and coffee. And I hope you're looking for, this is where it gets really cheesy and you just think, there's no wonder I haven't had any success. So I like coffee, dogs and gigs because I tick those. I am a verified profile, so I think that's really important.
How do you all find that you're received from guys, and how do you find their profile? So when you've got your phone and you're flicking through, what are the things that just really grate you and you just think, why do men do that?
Yeah,
Come on, what are they? Give me them.
When they put a group picture on and you're like, which one are you? Which one are you? I hope it's that one, and it's never that one. It's always that one. That's really annoying.
Or why do they take pictures of not just themselves?
Fish.
They send a picture of a beach or something. I'm like, you've got 6 pictures. Do not give me a picture of a beach. Put one of yourself up.
Or when they're really old pictures and you can tell they're like from the 90s.
Yeah. Or topless
the
ones.
fish ones.
I hate topless
Topless fish. And I don't like necklaces.
No.
Necklaces?
I don't even, necklaces on a bare chest.
No.
That's really, I just don't like that.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think I'm the problem.
No, not.
I think I might be as well. You know, when you just think.
But I've said this a lot of times on the podcast and on Instagram as well, that when you were going out dating organically, all these things that we mess about and say, oh, I don't like that, I don't like that, you do without even thinking about. So it's a bit like Guess Who. You know, like when you walk into a bar, when you used to walk into a bar, without really, you go boom, 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 and then 2 left. And if one of those pays you attention, then you might talk to them. If they don't, you go home and you go again. But on these apps, you have to physically go through all those things that you used to naturally do without even noticing.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, it's just all you can go on is pictures anyway. So it's really difficult.
Hard.
It is
My
hard.
kids just say,
and I swipe.
Look likes baldies.
I don't mind bald people. I quite like a bald man.
I do. I love a baldy.
Yeah.
I love a Richard.
Yeah.
From Guess Who.
For me, it's about if they've got personality and a bit of banter. I don't care about looks.
How do you know that from a picture? You is it like 0.3 seconds or something? You've seen that picture and you decide if you like them or not. It's
I do to you.
Part of the set. Yeah. Because I don't read the bio.
No,
I don't
read the
know
bio.
if he's interested in
whoa,
whatever.
hold on. No one... Right, no. Because this was my theory.
No.
When I started doing dating apps, I first of all sat down and, I'm into mountain climbing and origami and, lied about everything. And then after a while, I just thought, no one's even reading this.
No.
And if they do like what you look like, they'll ask a question.
Yeah.
They could be the nicest person in the world and be really interesting and all of the fun stuff. But if there's not that like physical attraction...
Yeah.
And physical attraction grows if you get to know someone organically, like at work, or you meet somebody and it's your mate's brother's whatever, or but when that doesn't happen, when you're just faced with a photo, you decide in that second,
Yeah,
would I want to kiss?
definitely.
Would I? And
Yeah,
if the answer's no, then you left.
yeah. I
Okay,
will
so
only start.
I've done this and it didn't make me feel good at all. It made me, and that's kind of what put me off the apps in the end, because you sort of it's your self-worth as well sometimes. But have you ever made a really good connection, like with a person over messaging, FaceTime, and all of those things? So you've done all your due diligence as much as you can do and think, I've got a great connection here. I'm really excited. And as soon as you see them,
Oh yeah.
it just
Yeah.
it just goes, and you feel
Yeah.
terrible because you feel. I mean, I felt really shallow, thinking I'm not just about looks, but I've got no attraction to this person.
You've got to have that spark, and spark isn't always a chemistry. It's just that bouncing off each other and laughing.
Yeah.
And also their core values. I went for a coffee with a guy and he was so rude to the waitress, and all he did was talk about how much money he had and how much he got a bill in a restaurant the week before, just after lockdown. And he said, and I told them it was too much, I'm not paying it. And then he was like, do I get a kiss? I was like, no. And he's like, what do you think our date's going? I was like, So you just, but the thing with dating as well is sometimes an expectation that is going to be, it's a date, it's going to be a connection, where actually you've got to build on a friendship. You've got to have that real common base, and you've got to develop a friendship. For it to have legs, I think is the saying, isn't it? It's got to have some legs.
Yeah.
But you go on these dates and the expectation is there's going to be like, give me a kiss. I was like, give you a kiss? I'll pay for my own coffee. And I'm all...
But I think like, I've got enough friends. I don't need more friends. I've got a lot of friends.
Exactly.
And I, you know.
So that's what I've put in my bio. I think I might have taken it out, so I don't know if it's too harsh, but I've put, my bio is really short because people don't read them. I've just put, no pen pals, no time wasters, open to I like a phone call. I like to match with someone, and then I like a phone call before I go on a date, because I just think then you can really get to know them a bit more. And then I quite like to go for a date quite soon. I hate the endless messaging. I find it really boring. If someone's going to message me and talk to me for 3 weeks, I don't bother. I'm like, no. And I've learned that through time. I'm like, it's just a waste of time. I like to find out. Yeah.
I think that's what you do with the dating apps, is you do, after a while, you find the shortcuts, don't you? Think, because if you haven't met after 2 weeks, the likelihood is you're not going to meet. You're just not going to meet. If you stop thinking about them as dates, because when you first meet someone that you've never met, it's not a date. It's a meeting.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And if you was at work and someone said to you, you've got a meeting with John who works upstairs, you wouldn't think twice about it. You'd go up and meet John, have a coffee, and that would be it. But I think if you approach them with, right, this is just a meeting, if we like each other, then it might be a date, because we've both seen each other in the real world, and then go forward.
Yeah, sometimes I don't do coffee. I do like just a quick drink.
Just to finish off with, because it's obviously the first one, we're going to follow your journey over the next 4 weeks. We want to keep it as real as we can, because I want people to see what it's like for people midlife dating. So where is your current status now? Are you chatting to people? Are you maybe going on a date, or are you just messaging anyone, or are you starting with a clean blank slate?
I've done the free Bumble. Have you, Lisa? Have you done the free, or are you paying?
No, I'm not paying.
Yeah, no. I don't pay for them.
No.
So I didn't know whether to upgrade it and then just see who likes you. No.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it.
No, definitely not. I tell you, it used to annoy me when they used to make you pay for those. What was the point of the flowers? Was that on Hinge or Bumble?
That's on Hinge, isn't it? Send a rose or something.
Send a rose.
It's the only way I'm going to get it.
No, they're not real ones. It just comes up on your phone.
Fine. Okay, so I won't do that then. I'll just be more less judgy.
So Jo, you're a blank slate from me.
Yeah, I'm going to change my profile.
Oh, I was chatting to someone over the weekend, but I'm not sure I'm feeling it. I was chatting to a few, and I've been quite honest with 2 of them. I've said, look, you're not for me, because I don't like the ghosting side.
Yeah. Lisa, how about you?
I've matched with a few, had a chat with a few. Nothing's progressed to any dates. So yeah, it's all very early days.
So
but
how many
people?
Yeah, me too.
keep widening my radius a little bit more.
So what are you on? What are you on now? So how many miles?
Bumble.
No.
Oh,
In
sorry,
terms of
what day-
radius.
I think I started on 20 and I think I'm now at 35.
So how far would you
And
all
then,
travel?
and then the age gap then
mile.
widens as well.
A mile. I'm a busy girl.
I think if you're single in midlife, you need to be a very brave person because you've got to take the knocks and the falls. And it's very easy to stay in unhappy relationships. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you so much for taking part in this because I think you're great for doing it and you're really brave as well. And I'm really interested to see your journeys over the next 4 weeks. And I think it's really going to help people to know that they're not alone in this. So when people say they're single, you're never single because there's loads of people like us that are all out there. So you're part of a community. I think the exciting thing about single is you don't know what's coming. So for me, that's a really positive thing. So
Yeah, 100%.
I'm looking forward to sharing your journey. I think you should help each
I'm just
other.
like bubbly with laughter. Thank you.
Lisa, you need to help Jo with her profile and see if that, I'll see if that helps. Picking photos and actually writing something. So maybe we could sort that out and we'll have a catch up next week and see how it goes. Guys, thank you for joining Fifty Shades of Grey. Make sure you subscribe and follow, and we'll catch up with you next week for the next update. Take care. Bye-bye.